It is Adam and Elsie here.
To
Here to
spread the love
okay, spread the love and hope, helping others prosper every day.
every
We
day.
are not your marriage gurus, but we are here to just, like we say, real talk. Just talk about relationships, talk about marriage, talk about singleness, whatever it may be. Just having better relationships and all growing together. We're not perfect. We're just speaking on stuff that we're learning. Hey, I think Jessica. We're just speaking on stuff that we're learning and we're growing. Marcia, I think I said, oh, it's on there too. We are here live on YouTube and Facebook. So we're going back up and down because we're streaming on both phones right now. But again, we're just excited to be here live and, like I said, share things that we're learning and growing on. And we hope that you share and add value to us by sharing things that you're learning. We're open to learning as well because we're not the gurus. Yeah. Oh,
All
this
right.
is also sorry. Oh, what the heck? You have it plugged up. Sorry, hold on. My wife has to plug in her phone. But we are on a 14-day challenge. This is day 8, I believe. Straight going live with you guys. Like I said, we haven't done it before, but it's creating that consistency as we want to be more consistent this year doing it and being accountable to not only you guys, to ourselves, to our relationship, and to other things that we're also working on. It's going to help build that muscle.
We're day 8.
Yeah, day 8.
Day. Oh, you did say that?
Day 8.
Oh, we're day 8 of our 14-day challenge.
All right.
Well, let's start because
Yeah.
we have to. We're gonna be a quick one tonight. We always say that, but it's because we have somewhere to go to. But
I
so
typically tell Elsie that too. It's gonna be a quick one. No, I'm just kidding. High five.
okay, so the topic tonight is: can high school sweethearts really last?
I don't know. Can they? What do you guys think?
Let us know.
So little background about your boy and Elsie. We were high school sweethearts. Look at that. Yeah. You guys see that? That was our first, I guess, kind of like official photo. That was my homecoming. Right.
It's both of our homecoming.
Oh, that's well.
Yeah, so we.
It was both of our homecoming.
I think that's like a very first picture.
So
together.
You guys, yeah, sorry, you guys saw I posted yesterday of
our 10-year.
What's the challenge that we're doing? How did aging? What is it?
Hit challenge.
How hard did aging hit you? And so I kind of did a twist. We kind of did a twist. How hard did aging plus being in a relationship and married for that amount of time? Because most of our first posts were honestly just us together. There's maybe a few before that was our first post, with just us being single. But most of them our posts are us together because we started in high school.
Because that's when Facebook started.
Yeah. Being popular.
Being popular was the time we started dating.
Yeah. And so we got this idea based off of again I shared this book yesterday. It's going to be backward on some of your screen, but Make Today Count.
It's going to be backward on Facebook, not YouTube. YouTube, it's actually they flip it where you can actually see it.
Well, Make Today Count by John Maxwell, and honestly, it's about like I said, making every day count in different areas. And this area just happens to be relationships, and him and his wife were together for a really long time. And so he shares marriage can't survive forever on leftovers. It needs to be fed continually or it will eventually starve. Hey, Elder Young, that is good. Come on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, you read it. Maybe you need to hear from her, but it's good.
So it says, a marriage can't survive forever on leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be fed continually or it will eventually starve.
That's good.
Just like
That's
when we
stuff.
need food. I mean, I love food, so it can't survive without food. Or even water. You can't survive. Well, you can survive water, like 40... Is it 40 days?
No, that's food.
Oh, that's food. That's 40 days. I think water... I don't know. Maybe you guys...
It's like 4 days.
No, let us know which... if you guys know that answer.
4 days without water.
4 days? Okay.
Something like that.
Just like this, I mean, you can't be giving your spouse leftovers. You gotta continually feed them. in
Yeah,
different ways, of course.
and so like, so there's some stats for you that I found. It says only 2% of new marriages are high school sweethearts.
So we're in the 2%.
Yeah, so we're in the 2%. It was always good to be in the 2%. You don't want to be following the crowd. You want to go where everybody else is going. Do something great.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are in the 2%. And most people, yeah, like I said, we actually know quite a few from our class, or maybe classes a little bit below or under, that actually were high school sweethearts,
Yeah,
and they are still together today.
Yeah.
But it's really rare, because out of that 2%, 54% of them don't even last. And so it's really hard to even last if you are high school sweethearts or you've been together for a really long time. Um, and most of one of the major reasons why is because we think that the relationship's going to survive off of what they call leftovers, meaning it's going to survive off a thing that you did
10 years.
you know 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and you're still boasting about how you bought them that teddy bear 5 years ago. Well, what about now? What are you buying for them now? What are you doing for them now? It's not just about money or gifts, but what are you doing now? um, and so, like, think of it like she said with food. If you only cooked once a month, are you going to be able to survive off of those leftovers for the whole year? Or if you only cooked once a year? If what else did I write? Sorry, I wrote some notes on here too. If I told Elsie, or she told me I love her just once a year, do you guys think that's enough? No, it's not enough. Do you think if we only had sex one time out of the year, that's enough? No, not at all. I will definitely no, no, no. That's definitely not enough. I mean, you got to think about it. You're not gonna survive off of that leftovers. I mean, because sex. I mean, it's you're intimate. You're connecting, and so even on that point, you're not just gonna have it once a year and say, okay, we're good for the rest of the year. Oh, I said I love you once. We're good for the rest of the year. Oh, I opened the door for you, 5 years ago. You can do it for yourself now. You can survive off that one time I opened it. If Elsie only cooked dinner for me one time, she's like, oh, I cooked dinner for you, remember, like 5 years ago? It's just like, what? What do you mean? That food's not around anymore. It's gone. It's went in, it came out in the sewers and out to other places. I can't survive off of that. And so neither can you survive off of what you're doing in your relationship. You got to recreate it. You got to make things new. You got to still be every day. That's why it says make today count. Don't focus on yesterday or even tomorrow. Just focus on today. Make today count. What are you doing today to make your relationship? Because especially if you're high school sweethearts, you do get weary. I mean, if it's the same, you guys been together, you have to constantly work on it day in and day out.
And we talked about this last night about working, praying through your relationship, because it's not always going to be, it's not always going to be the walk in the park, but you got to make sure that you're working in the relationship. You're not going to end on one thing. And like I said, you're not going to stay there for just the leftovers. You got to make sure you work at it every single day. You continually feed it. Don't get me wrong, leftover food is good.
Yeah, I mean, leftovers are good. They're leftovers, and pretty soon you're going to be left with nothing if you just keep feeding off those leftovers. And that's why you see those high school sweethearts breaking up, or just regular relationships. You see them breaking apart. Even if you think about your kids, or friendship. If you just if you only did something nice for your friend one time, you can't base your relationship off of that friendship, that thing you did one time. For your kids, you're not only going to just feed your kids once, or you're not going to bathe them once throughout the year. You're going to bathe them. They're not going to be able to stay clean the whole year unless you bathe them every single day. And so that's really the concept. But it's in that concept, it's so powerful. It's so good, is because you're not going to survive. So we're busy typically with work. We're busy, doing other stuff, maybe church, maybe, whatever we're spending our time with. We got to think, all that time that we're spending, are we investing that time also back into our relationship and making sure that that's being fed? We're not just, you got to feed your relationship. Or if you don't feed it, it's gonna get hungry.
And it's going to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. It's going to go somewhere else.
That's where, a second, I think a lot of people either get divorced or whatnot because they found that somebody else is filling their love tank. And
they're being fed by somebody else.
And you don't want that to happen. especially if you guys been together for a long time. I mean, not saying that Adam and I we were perfect in our relationship, which we weren't. There was times where we like I talked about this a couple nights ago where I took him for granted. It's because I was giving him the leftovers of our relationship. It wasn't something that I needed to do continually. And I've learned that is that I can't take Adam for granted. I mean, you can't take any family or friends for granted because they're not always going to be there. But if you treat them right and you feed them with stuff that they want to be fed, like positivity, then it's going to work out.
Mm-hmm. And so, hey, I am saying that you guys need to go feed your relationship. Don't survive off those leftovers. That's all actually we honestly have for today.
Wait,
Unless you have something
before
else.
we go, I do want to say a couple things about how to, feed your relationship. I mean, we talked about this is do new dates, do new things with your spouse. Understand their love language, know what it is, because there's 5 different love language. I will probably touch about that more this time. I think we only talked about it like once or twice last year. So I mean, there's topics are they can go on forever, and then once you go on one topic and then another topic comes and it just expands.
Mm-hmm.
But do things with your spouse and do things that you may not. There's one thing that I understand that every couple should do is that be spontaneous when you in your relationship. Don't always control it, because for me, I controlled when things are gonna happen. If they didn't happen, it kind of ruins the plans. But I know now that, I mean, I'm still working on it. So give me grace. Adam gives me grace a lot. So if things doesn't work out, I get like, oh my god, it's not. I don't want to do it anymore. And you gotta get that out of that mindset of where things happen for a reason. God probably planned it because maybe something will happen, in that moment if you were there or something like that. Yeah, so be spontaneous with your relationship. Do things that you have never done. Do things that you've done when you guys first started dating. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just want to throw that in. I know we really have to go.
Yeah, but it's good
So,
stuff. I mean, we'll cover, like I said, the six, maybe even the six human needs again, whatever human needs, and it ties into relationships. Yeah, but like this year, we're gonna be consistent, showing, sharing stuff, and we hope you guys are consistent with sharing stuff back. We can learn from you definitely as well. We are not your marriage gurus. We're just here to spread the love, hope, and help others prosper every day. But we're here to also learn and listen to you guys as you guys share. So thanks for
yep.
anybody tuning in, whoever's going to comment. We appreciate it. Hey, Dad. But we just, like I said, we love you. Also, if you want to know, hey, Fran, you want to know 10 positive things that marrying your high school sweethearts bring, message us and we have a list of 10 things. Like I said, we can't cover everything on here. We do have to go, but I'll send you over like 10 positive things that marrying your high school sweetheart can bring. Because we're not going to talk about the negative. We're going to talk about the positive things. We've been married since high school. It's been great. We have our rough patches, but it's been great. It's been a great ride, and we are not so we know not to last off those leftovers. We're feeding each other every day, feeding our relationship, and yeah, we're making it work. We're working on it because it takes work, especially if you've been together for that long of time.
Mm-hmm.